Welcome, my name is Scott, the appraiser half of the Solomon Development Team. I'm going to log in and take you through our new application called Solomon Cost. We use the depreciated cost method to support adjustments made in the sales comparison grid. This technique is only as good as the estimate of depreciation, which is a challenge. We think it is more credible to estimate market value for a house like the one being appraised and work back through the cost approach to calculate depreciation. When depreciation is extracted from the market, we are able to calculate market-based adjustments. Solomon Cost does that for you and at the same time gives you everything you need to complete the cost approach section of your report. This way you have an internally consistent opinion of value. So let's start with the market value estimate of $225,000. The land is estimated at $60,000. Site improvements $5,000. Zip code. The quality rating 4, that means good standard. The GLA square feet. Click yes if the heated and central air square feet are the same as GLA, which is usually the case. 800 square feet of basement finish, 1,200 square feet of basement size, 800 square feet of basement finish. The basement full bath count is 1. There are no half baths in the basement. Fireplace, there's one fireplace up on the main floor. The deck is 20 by 12, so 240 square feet. The screen porch, 14 by 14, so 196 square feet. And the garage is 24 by 24, so 576. Now when I click calculate, all of these numbers from your sketch and from your estimates for market value, land, site value, they translate into cost. Now this is laid out just like the cost section of the 1004. So up here you see the opinion of site value. Over here is the dwelling number, the basement number, the garage square footage. Additional features in this case is the fireplace, the deck, and the screen porch. This shows that a total cost of these characteristics in this zip code at this quality rating is $263,196. We know that the depreciated cost of improvements is $160 based on a market value of $225, land at $60, and the site improvements at $5. So $160 from $263, there's $103,000 worth of depreciation recognized by the market for this house. Now economic life is a number that it comes from your estimate of the quality rating. In other words, when you say that the quality rating is 4, the people that wrote the cost manual specify an economic life of 60 years. It's not something that you estimate or should change. The effective age is, again, not something that you should estimate. That comes right out of a consistent approach to cost, land value, site improvements, etc. So in our case, we have $103,000 of depreciation divided by the total cost, 263. We'll get a percentage that multiplied by 60 equals 24 years. The last thing is to subtract the effective age from the 60-year economic life. We end up with 36 years. Now on the bottom, we have 2 columns. The first column is called default adjustments. These numbers assume that this total amount of depreciation has occurred equally across every characteristic of the house. But you know, we just know that that's not true. For instance, a deck might only have a 30-year life. So let's say 30 divided by 60. We'll say 50% is a good way to calibrate this deck number. When we click calibrate, we end up with $9.50. So what we're saying is $9.50 times 240 square feet. Let's see what that is. The deck adjustment is $2,280, rounded off to $2,300. GLA is something we need to talk about. GLA includes things like decorating, which depreciate quickly, Maybe there is a 10-year life of what's in style. Maybe there are 2 to 3 roofs involved over the 60-year life of the house. The HVAC system might need to be replaced, the siding perhaps, or the windows. Those things are generally adjusted in the condition row of the grid. So to avoid double adjusting, we use a calibration factor right here. As the house's age and condition adjustments increase, the GLA adjustment will usually decrease. In my experience, a factor of 50 to 70 seems most likely through sensitivity analysis. We will be using peer consensus surveys for this in the future, so stay tuned and take note of patterns that emerge in your work. If we use 50 in this case, the GLA adjustment calibrates to $29. When we print the report, we see on the left all of the assumptions and sketch data that go behind the calculations. Here are the calculations presented in the format like the 1004 cost section. On the left over here, we have the default adjustments. On the right are the calibrated adjustments. Here is some explanation of what's going on behind the numbers. Now, it's important to remember, especially with GLA, that we are basing this on marginal cost, not average cost. The cost manuals that are used always show an average cost number. They never show the portion of that cost that is related to a change in quantity. So this is what regression does for us. We do that behind the scenes within Solomon, so that what you see reported here is the effect that a change of quantity has on the total cost. This has always been the challenge of the adjustment process. The question in our mind is, how does a change of 100 square feet affect the sale price? Thank you.